Marlene in Delaware. She's with us here on Mad Dog Unleashed. Marlene, good afternoon. How are you today?
Good afternoon. Thank you for taking my call.
You got it, Marlene. What's going on? Let me hear.
Well, I just wanted to make a comment about the book on Tiger, and I do think you're promoting the book by talking about the negatives.
Because that's what people want to read about.
Despite the fact that you say the book contains or highlights Tiger's greatness, as a golfer.
Right.
Now, his missteps are totally irrelevant to me. When I watch the Golf Channel, when I watch the golf matches, I think about Tiger in terms of his golf.
Right.
Not his personal life, about which we all know. So you've been on the air for over an hour.
Right.
And despite callers who have said, why don't you talk about his greatness, you have not read one passage from the book that talks about how Tiger became Tiger as a golfer.
Well, I think we are. Well, I mean, again, that's fair. Fair point. I'm more interested right now. I know how great Tiger is, and most of us who follow Tiger know that. I've seen him win every major he ever played in. I've seen him win 1 million tournaments. So to me, that is not as interesting, Marlene, as his behavior. I did not know that Tiger stayed at Augusta year after year in this poor girl's house and ruined it on an every year basis and never bothered to send a note or anything. I did not know that. I did not know that.
I don't think that is as important.
Oh, I think. Yes. Well, you may. No, darling. No, darling. He makes $1 billion a year, or did, with endorsements. I find that fascinating. I want to know. We know how great he is. I have seen him win all the tournaments, and we have discussed those tournaments ad infinitum. I spent weeks this fall so far, this spring, doing nothing but talking about Tiger at the golf course, Valspar, out in Tampa, the Bay Hill one, the tournament in San Diego. Nobody on this station did. I was the only one who did. So I have spent my life covering Tiger and watching him play golf. I did not know that Tiger, basically rampaged a house like a 10-year-old, and I did not know that his father was a disaster. I did not know that Tiger treated Jimmy Roberts as poorly as he did. I did not know this. This is more interesting to me than breaking down Tiger's 40 or 30 on the back nine of Augusta in 97, and good call, on the first day, which is what he did to get himself going in that tournament when he shot a 70. There's plenty of good things about Tiger. 44 million people watched the Sunday at Augusta in 1997. 44 million. Think about that rating for a second. 44 million. That's Sunday at Augusta. Tiger Woods. Now, if I'm bursting somebody's bubble here because you don't want to hear about this side of Tiger, I apologize. This side of Tiger needs to be explained. That is atrocious behavior. You can't defend it. You can't defend it. It's impossible. You can't defend it. Butch Harmon. I got Butch Harmon reading the riot act to Jimmy Roberts and NBC. Butch Harmon now. Butch Harmon. Are you kidding me? Some golf guy? I know he's a great instructor. But Butch Harmon, this is what I'm going to be dealing with now. Not in this show. That we're not dealing with. If they don't like it, tough. Tiger's not coming on here. But I love greatness, and nobody's going to sit there. I know how great Tiger is. And I love Jordan. So, but I'm interested in this other side of this stuff. I'm sorry if you're not, Marlene. Max in Michigan with us here on Mad Dog Unleashed. Max, good afternoon. How are you today?
How are you? I wasn't calling a call about Tiger, but I do want to comment on it first before I get to what I called about. Tiger's been a jerk his whole life. I mean, people have covered him when he played in junior tournaments here in Western in Michigan for years. He couldn't talk to the media, and I blame his father. His father was a good guy. Tiger, who idolized his father, would have been a good guy.
I agree. I think a lot of this, a lot of Tigers. Now you can't attribute it all to Tiger as a grown man.
No, not
but
at all.
But a lot of Tiger's issues, the social awkwardness, the disrespect that he showed, the lack of common courtesy to a lot of people. A lot of this stems from his parents. That's all there is to it. I mean, I don't love the mother, and I don't love the mother either. I mean, the father gets all the abuse. I'm not in love with her either. She thinks the media is out to get her son. She's way too protective. I am not. I mean, not everybody's an enemy. And she had a lot of that us against them. So I'm not a big fan of her either. But the father is a disaster. There's no other way around. Now, he did a phenomenal job. He did a phenomenal job of raising a champion. You got to give him credit for that. He did,
no doubt about it.
He gets credit for that. He gets credit for that.
And you're right. If Armacatan wrote it, chances are it's pretty true. Actually, I'm more interested because the stuff I've heard, and you have too, probably. I'd love to read a book on Phil because I believe he's the phoniest human being on the planet.
A lot of people think that. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people think that. I don't know. I think that. I think when it's over, you'll read something about that. And good call, Max. I like to read that on Phil too. I've heard that too. He's a phony, big gambler. I don't know. I can't answer that question. And remember, golf's very insulated. So the people inside the ropes, the caddies, the tour organizers, the networks that cover this, the Ebersols, people like that who have over the years, they're not going to say anything bad because, they're all a little part of a family. And, the golfer is not part of a team. And if he's good, he doesn't have to cooperate. They need access to him. So there are not rules where you get, well, I'm sure you can get fined, but there are not a lot of rules. So if somebody doesn't want to do a press conference, he probably gets a token fine, but he doesn't have to go out of his way to help anybody. It's a different sport. So to get info from Tiger that is negative takes a lot of digging. And I trust these two authors. And don't let me hear anything about, they're making a buck on Tiger. I mean, making a buck. Tiger didn't help him write the book. The issue on Feinstein and the Bobby Knight thing, remember when Feinstein, and it was a great book, when he wrote that book on Knight in 87, a lot of people in Knight's camp said that Feinstein promised him that he would not portray Wright with the bad language and be very careful of how he wrote about Knight's personality in relationship to his team and all those kinds of things. And that is why Knight gave him all that access. Well, as it turns out, according to the Knight people, I wasn't there to see it, and the book is great. According to the Season on the Brink, according to the Knight people, Feinstein did not oblige him with that. And Feinstein made a fortune, an absolute fortune on that book. Knight didn't make a nickel. Not a nickel. And Knight gave Feinstein all that access. And then Feinstein, according to the Knight's people, betrayed Knight and that whole coaching staff by basically, writing verbatim, how Knight riled up a team and his behavior and all the things that he did. And that rankled Knight to no end. In this particular case, this is not out there from that standpoint. Tiger did not help Armin and Benedict writing this book. They had nothing to do with it. They tried to talk to him a million times. Tiger would only talk to him under certain conditions, would not discuss certain elements of his life. And as good reporters and good journalists, they said, we want nothing to do with it. So they did not get access from Tiger or anybody around Tiger to get inside info, and Tiger didn't do him any favors. So what they did with this book, I have no problem with it. With no problem with it. Now, I know Feinstein I like Feinstein. He's a hell of a writer. But a lot of people think that Feinstein took advantage of access with Knight. And remember, Knight gave him all that access. Team planes, huddles, locker rooms, gave him everything. Film sessions, everything. And according to Knight, now Knight's a bully, so you can take this for what it's worth. But according to Knight, Feinstein broke an oath. And that is why they can't stand each other. Take it for what it's worth. Tiger's going to hate Armin for the book and Benedict. But Tiger cannot hate Benedict and Arnold for double-crossing him because he never helped him. 22 after the hour, we continue. Mad Dog.